Okay, so we fill the gap during the day. There is an overnight shelter, and a lot of those women needed a place to go during the day. And so we are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. And we have case managers here. We have technology center resources. A lot utilize our shelter. It's a day shelter for laundry and for showers. So they're going all day long. And to get something to eat here and to stay warm. And we also have a clothing closet for the women. We do need volunteers. Like I said, our donations are coming in constantly for that clothing closet, and we have limited space here, and so we are constantly going through and getting out seasonal clothes and kind of shifting things in and out of here that we do need help with. And just kind of the daily operations of the shelter, because anything that they need, that you would need for your house, like the shampoo, the toothbrushes, so it's a lot of running back and forth, and so any help is appreciated. But mainly women's clothes, and right now the seasonal coats, sweaters, thermals. A big one is like undergarments and socks. They come in here with nothing, and they need to take the shower, so they have to have clothes just to be able to take their shower. So if it's between the hours of 8 and 4, they can just come here and ring our doorbell. Welcome to come on in with anything. But they can always give us a call. It's 270-216-5910. So here we weren't designed with a kitchen, but we do have a microwave, a refrigerator, and a deep freezer, and they do eat here. A lot can't make it to the soup kitchen, whether they come in too late, or they're disabled and can't get down there, or they don't have the bus ticket, or the weather is really bad. So I do keep food here. So anything that's able to be warmed up, or any quick lunch type meals. So I've been in social work for 16 years, and this is the first job in the first population where you feel that physically helping someone every single day. Just walking through this door is helping them, getting out of the cold and treating them like a human as soon as they come in the door. And we're hitting the basic needs so hard, you know, from the clothes, the food, being able to connect to resources, everything, every single day. And I think one of our recent inspirational stories is actually our AmeriCorps worker. Her and her husband had been homeless for years, and he was staying at the men's shelter. They were staying in abandoned buildings, and then he was at the men's shelter, and she was in the overnight women's. And so she would have to get on the bus and travel, or not have a place to go during the day. The patina was full. And so they did this for years, and then they started coming here. I found out that it was some legal issues and that they had to get taken care of, and they did not know how. And so they were kind of under the radar for these years homeless. And so immediately our caseworkers, me personally, I helped her with the court and with the legal things, getting her back on the docket, getting that behind her so she could apply for housing, because she could not do that with that barrier, and she didn't know how to navigate it. And so she got on the waiting list, and she came here and she started to volunteer for us. And so she's still volunteering and walking and doing those blind steps every day with her husband coming here, and he will help with maintenance things. So that helps me out. So, they put their trust and faith in us, and they showed up, and I told them, I'll meet you where you are. And we walked this journey, and she got into a Goodwill program where she was getting paid to work in our clothing closet. And then we were short-handed. I'm the only full-time worker here. And so she was helping out at the front desk. And you show up, I'm going to keep walking these steps with you. And she's still homeless. She's still at the overnight shelter through all of this. And then the funding got cut with Goodwill. And I said, look, it's coming up for a contract year for our AmeriCorps worker, which is a full-time position for a year. And at the same time, her housing was coming through as well. She was getting up on the list. And so she passed all the background checks. She had the legal stuff out of the way, and we were able to hire her on full-time for the AmeriCorps position. And she was still homeless during this time with her husband at the men's shelter, separated for years, showing up to help us here and give back, both of them. And then she recently, in the last month or two, got into an apartment, and her husband and her got to stay in the same house for the first time in years. And so that's a big success for us. And the women here, they know her from walking the journey and seeing her on the other side. It's an inspiration every day.
That was awesome.
But yeah, just the trust that they had in us, because it's been such a process. But here we are on the other side. So now she has a full-time job. He still helps with the maintenance, and they have the apartment.